family that had thrown him out. Years ago, Daryl had been born into wealth. The Darbys were one of the most powerful families in Jiangnan. But when he used 8 million of his own money to buy shares in a failing oil company, the clan accused him of trying to steal family assets. They humiliated him, erased his name, and cast him out. His parents didn't defend him. No one did. So he disappeared, became a live-in husband, and buried his past so deeply that even Lily never knew who he really was. Now Stephen stood before him, bowing his head. "Young master," he said, "the family needs your help." Daryl almost laughed in his face. 3 years ago, they had called him mad, greedy, shameless. Now they wanted him back, because the investment that got him disowned had exploded in value. When Daryl called the bank to check his balance, even the customer service representative sounded shaken. His funds were too large to confirm over the phone. Too large. Daryl stared at the black card in his hand and felt something cold and dangerous rise inside him. The same family that had abandoned him was now begging. The same clan that had treated him like garbage needed him to survive. And the woman he loved, the woman who never once chose him, was desperately looking for a $5 million investor to save her company. For the first time in years, Daryl had power. Real power. And suddenly the world looked very different. When he got home that night, he didn't sleep. At dawn, Lily had no choice but to let him drive her to work on his beaten-up electric bike. Her company was collapsing. The shareholders were furious, and she was one investor away from disaster. On the way there, she held his waist for the first time in 3 years. It happened only because the bike sped up too fast. Even so, Daryl felt his entire body go rigid. For one ridiculous, painful second, it felt like they were a real married couple. Then they arrived at her office and reality returned. Ashton Adagio was already waiting. Handsome, rich, and polished, he stepped out of his Audi with the confidence of a man who thought he had already won. He took off his jacket, offered it to Lily, and then presented her with a pair of glittering crystal heels, a replica of the worship of crystal. Daryl knew shoes. He knew fashion. He knew enough to see in one glance that the pair in Ashton's hands was fake. He also knew something else: Lily genuinely liked them. That was what made him step forward. He snatched the shoes and threw them to the ground. "If my wife likes them," he said calmly, "I'll buy her the real pair." The silence that followed was deadly. Ashton nearly exploded. Lily wanted to scream. To everyone around them, Daryl sounded insane, a penniless live-in husband making promises about shoes worth $30 million. To Lily, he had just ruined her best chance at securing an investor. By the time she reached her office, she hated him even more. And by noon, the entire company was laughing at a video of Daryl kneeling beside his broken bike, patting it like a grieving widow while promising revenge. Lily locked herself in her office.